name is Kennedy Odede. I was born and raised in Kibera, Kenya. So Kibera is the largest slum in Africa, where 1.5 million people live in the area size of Central Park in New It was a really hard life. And this is my home, this is Kibera, where I was born. It's a place that when you are born there, honestly, there is no hope. There is no way out. So sad. And even to have water is difficult. We walked for miles to have drinking water. Food, to have 1 meal per day, you are so lucky. I remember me and my family, I'm the eldest one of 8 kids. So when we have a meal, my mom used to encourage us to drink a lot of water because you will never have enough. This was a hard life for me that forced me to run away because there's not enough food in the house to be a street kid. In America, we call them homeless kids, so I can be able to find food from the garbage. When you are born here, you know there's no way out. There is no hope. Poor sanitation. No dream. Hard life. What you want to have in your life is to work in the factory. To get a job in the factory, because your neighbor is a factory, and those people can afford at least some food. They are from the factory. The rest, many people, almost 60%, are jobless. It's kind of an isolated area. So growing up in Kibera, I said that at the age of 10, I left the house to be a street boy because life was so hard. So on the street, I imagine at the age of 10. So there I joined other kids who were able to be on the street, surviving on the garbage. But despite all this struggle in my life, there was a strong woman who is my mom. She was really abused, and most of the time being mistreated by our dad. But she's remained strong. She could wake up early in the morning to go and look jobs to do laundry and bring food back home. I remember, in my community, men don't wash dishes in Kibera. But imagine, my mom could force me. Like, in this house, there is no boy, there is no girl. All of you are equal. And I started washing dishes at a little early age, and even she could force me to go outside. So, and other people could laugh at me, other boys. So that shows how my mom was really, really strong woman and was able to plant some of the gender inequality in me at a very early age. Some of the things happened in my life. One of them was to see my sisters, 2 of them at the age of 15, being abused and sexually assaulted. One of them becoming pregnant. Another thing was to see some of my neighbors dying from HIV/AIDS. There's a confusion in life. There is no need of living. Why do you live? And yet you feel hopeless. And yet there is no dream in your neighborhood that you can say, I want to be like so-and-so. And that's why I said that before. At a very early age, my dream was like, I wish I find a job in the factory where you can earn $1 per day for 10 hours. So I looked around. It was stressful. But there's something that I spoke about my mother, we're very, very close, that planted on me was the idea of giving. She had nothing, but she gave us what she had. And what's really sad to see a mother knowing that your kid is going to be a street kid because you can't provide. But what I remember very well was when we had meal, which was I remember when we were having meal, I used to close the door because I don't want other kids to come because it's never been enough. My mom would be like, no, Kennedy, open the door. You have to share. You have to give. Giving is not about being rich or being poor, but you can give whatever you are. So I felt that even though I was poor, even on the street kid, where when I got my bread, maybe, I would go and share with other kids. I was really sad for me to see other kids passing their day with no food, and yet I had something. So I had to share with them. So all these things were able to build me to understand the world through my mom's eye. The sad part was my friend, boy, who was shot dead by the police. So being from in a country like Kenya, whereby the slums are really isolated, if you come from those kind of places, you walk on the streets scared. So boy was shot because he was from Kibera and because he was trying to survive. It's sad that boy is a person that I know. There is no job for him. So boy tried to join some other groups. He was not lucky. In Kibera, there is no food, there is struggle. If you go out, there is bullets. My friend was dead. And that's at the age of 15. That's really was painful for me to see what is happening in our society. Another thing happened, but I was lucky enough to get a job in the factory where I was earning $1 for 10 hours. And go to the factory, I have to work for 2 hours. It was sad. Coming back home, I went to see my friend, Alvin's. Guess what happened? In 10 by 10 room, this young man, charismatic, who felt there's no future, hanged himself. He wrote a letter and said, I can't live this life anymore. All these things compiled with everything that happened to me, plus coming across a book that I got from American Volunteer of Martin Luther King Jr., the man that I didn't know in my life. I read the speeches, I got inspired, and I asked myself, if today Martin Luther King Jr. was born in the middle of the slum, what's going to happen? Will this man look around and see their friends hanging themselves, dying, seeing people have no hope in their life? What did he do? That's the speech that I got. And I said that we have to do something. I can't see my sister suffering. I can't see my best friends dying. There will be no history. There's nobody. It's sad even up to now, to be honest with you. Most of my age mates have gone. Really, it's a sad story. Most of them are gone. In Kibera, if you reach 35 years old, you are lucky. And to be honest with you, that's why at the age of 17, people get married. Because there's no other life. So I started a small movement with the job I got at the factory. I used the 20 cents to buy a soccer. And this became the hope and dream that brought people together. So this soccer formed a movement just to come and share your story with other people, just to come and feel that you're not alone. We were able to form a movement that was called Shining Hope for Community, trying to give a hope. Society was feeling is dead, no hope, but a shining hope. I want to see one of our first office that was made in the community. We could come there, meet. And there we had a dream of how to make our place better. We cannot look what's happening, but we are the people living in the Kibera. We could come together and do something. So while I was doing this event, something really amazing happened in my life, which is interesting. There was a stubborn lady from the US, from Denver. She was called Jessica. So Jessica wanted to come to study abroad in Kenya, and she heard about us. So she wanted to come and live with us in Kibera. And I told her, no. There is no running water. Life here is hard. This is not America. I've never been to America before, but I knew America, America, you know? But Jessica, she's very stubborn, so she came. I shared with her my dream, and I was able to get a scholarship. By the way, we also got married. Another story. But I came to Wesleyan University without really high education, because I never went to high school. It was a very hard life, but I came to Wesleyan. And at Wesleyan, we were dreaming. My vision was to give education to women, like my mom. In Kibera, there are these powerful women in the community. But, like my mom, but they never went to school. What if these women can be educated? I wanted the future of tomorrow. We started the first free school for girls in Kibera. So we're going to have the future leaders from Kibera. And I'll go fast. So that's me. So what we are doing here is that a school for girls that combines other social services. Because in Kibera, we have to connect. Nobody ever thought about a school for girls. So a school for girls and healthcare, water, to connect people to feel the benefit of women. They can feel it in the community. So you cannot go and ban the school. You feel like the school is also helping you. So we have other services, what we are doing, like, that's how it's linked together. We have the teen girls support, community center, biolatrines, library, and parenting classes and support groups. So parents who come in and help in the school. We have a health center, maternal and child health care programs, and community health workers program that's really doing well. And at the moment, we have also HIV/AIDS comprehensive care. Peer health educators. So what I'm going to say that there's a dream in the community. People feel part of it. They feel there's change. And gender violence, all these things. So what happens that, and the water. You can see how much water is an issue in my community. Yeah. So what happened was that we were able to build this thing and to give hope to the community. And I never imagined in my life that one day I'll be able to stand in a place like this. I want to show you the programs that we have, the numbers, that what has been happening right now since. This is interesting. I love these numbers, although. So, well, in Kibera, I never thought about numbers. But right now, we have served, we have reached over 36,000 people in the community through all the things we're doing. And then we are also, my other dream is that how we're going to try to replicate the thing. Because it's about hope. And when I go to other slums in Nairobi, I go to Mathare, Korokocho, I see people have the same thing. There's nobody ever thought that one day they will be able to change their lives because of the lack of opportunity. What I got, to be honest with you, I got the opportunity that I never had. And that opportunity I wanted to share with my community. So I wanna show you a few minutes video about our girls, and you're gonna love them. You just see them, you see these are the presidents. Although they called me mayor in Kibera, I was not voted in, but because of my work, the community were able to call me the mayor of Kibera. But right now, I see the future leaders of Kenya from Kibera. So what I want to add quickly is that right now, the issue of urban poverty is most of the critical thing right now. In Nairobi, economy is growing. Poverty is still having its roots. We have a lot of informal settlements coming up. So my dream is that how can we garner up, spread together, and form whereby these people can come together and demand even the services from the government. Because when you're just Kibera, nobody cares, Mathare, but you're enlightened and educated and you know your rights. You know, it will be able, even the government, to give you support because they also vote, you know. So this is Nairobi has over 10 slums, you can see, whereby 2.5 million people live there. So I want to show for you now these girls having a really amazing music and be ready to dance. You're going to love it.
be anything in the world, you only must realize that it ain't no guarantee. Nothing's in the way of what you want to be. So follow your dreams, always shoot for the stars. No matter which direction, you'll be sure to go far. This is our first step as we get an education. This nation won't stop us from the push of limitation. Today we learn to write and read. Someday we bloom as flowers, now we plant the seed. You will not be surprised they can do anything. The only 6 and 7 they can show you how. Someday they'll look back and say, that was then and this is now. I can be what I wanna be. If I work hard in it, I'll be where I wanna be.
Hey, what's up? This is Kennedy. Proud to be part of the community. Kibera School for Girls, yeah, I believe. If we band together, we can achieve anything and everything with education. One day you will be pride of the nation. Life is hard, but we'll get through. I have so much hope and in all of you. Let's say it together. We believe in shining hope for communities to change the world. If there's a will, there's a way. Let's all hold hands because the future starts today. I know I can.
I know I can.
Be where I wanna be.
Be where I wanna be.
If I work out on it,
If I work hard on it,
I'll be where I wanna be.
I'll be where I wanna be.
Yo, Kibera, tuko pamoja. Yo, Kibera, tuko pamoja.
To be honest with you, I never thought in my life, growing up, that the girls in the community would be like vibrant like that, because they have been taught with the society, you are a woman, you don't sing, you have no right. But I see there are girls doing this kind of things really makes me happy, because I see my mom in those girls. You know, I see another world. I see another future. That's what I wanted to do in my life. I felt blessed. I never knew that one day I'll be able to graduate from university. I never knew one day I'll be able to speak in front of you here at Chicago Ideas Week. Never, because of life. But I learned something. Where you come from will not determine your future. I got inspired by a small book of somebody's struggle. And I took it as my struggle. And I wanted to have a better life for myself and my community. I saw the struggle of water. You saw in the video and on the slides. Now we have water. It was sad to see my friend's wife dying because they can't afford to go to the hospital. In every community in Kibera, there's no less than 5 people in the house. To give birth is lucky if you survive, because there's no health care center. So this poor woman was carried, going to the hospital, then one what's called deposit. They don't care you are poor or rich. She was dead, the baby dead. And I said in my dream, one day we're going to have a health center here that people be treated equal. And right now we have a health center in Kibera. So everything as a dream has come true. We serve over 24,000 patients. We partner with other people. So there's a dream and there's a hope. Life can be hard, but I always look forward. I know I've come. Where I come from was the hardest. And I'll tell Jessica, up to now, Jessica, I'm not scared much, because what I've passed through was the most toughest thing in my life. So I want to say thank you so much for listening to us, and thank you so much.